Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time we'll be going through another 150 vintage Penguin crime books numbered main series 850 up to 1000. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay then, so off we go, and this is number 851. So I am filming this one a little bit before I thought I was actually going to need to film it. And the reason why is because I've been sent many a wants list, as you might expect, on the back of the news that I got this Penguin crime collection. And lots of people, probably the most common way that people collect vintage penguins is to try and get the first 1,000 books, because they're all numbered 1 to 1,000. It's a really nice set to pull together. That's very nice. Consequently very popular. So I've had lots of people message me with their lists, the first 1,000 books. And I'd only done up to number 850. So some people, of course, just were after some of the very rare early wartime ones. And those people have been dealt with already. But for these later ones here, I wanted to get the list done up to 1,000. So that is exactly what I'm doing now. And once these have been done, I can, check them against my own collection, and then I'll have my swap sorted. Obviously, I've got up to number 3,000 to do, so I still got another couple of thousand. But not every batch of 100 has as many crime books in as other batches of 100, so they do vary. Now this one's quite grubby. Evidently, there's some spine wear as well. So if we decide to keep this. Yeah, look, it's quite warm. It's got the coming away there. I think this is one of those ones that's, yeah, look at that. We can't really sell that to anybody, can we? So that, I'm afraid to say, is going to have to go in the old reject pile. Now, even though I've got a reject pile, they're not being thrown away, unless, I don't think I've thrown any of them away. They're just going to be sold as a very, very cheap job lot. That is the plan, basically. So I just pop these bits in so they don't get lost whilst I'm moving those cheap books around. But yeah, that's just too far gone, and it's as simple as that. No one's going to want that, but they might want it to read, in which case, it is complete in that regard. This was part of a little Simonon 3, I believe, but they did many Simonon runs in their history, and Penguin published not quite all of them, because Pan had a couple, and I think Foursquare had a couple, but Penguin certainly published most Simonon Maigres. Nowadays, I think they've got the rights to them all. They've done modern translations, and apparently they're very good. I read the first one; I thought it was all right. Yeah, that's not a bad copy. It's got a big circle on the front there, but where someone's rested a cup of coffee on it or something. But still quite tidy. On the Danger Line, Simonon again. Oh dear, look at that. Pencil on the back there. It's got a sticker on. Well, it's complete, but it's in very, very poor shape indeed. I think, once again, that's just not really worth saving with regards collectability. We'll pop it in the job lot. Hollow Manor, this one seems all right on the face of it. John Dixon Carr. Not read a lot of this author, actually. I must try and get like a recommended list of books to try by him. It's okay. Not a great deal to do on it. It's just, a sort of VG copy. More work for the Undertaker. A little bit of the spine coming away there. So it's been slightly split. And foxed as well. So it's just about salvageable. Not ideal. It's not the greatest of copies. It'll only be cheap, this, but someone might want this one in their collections, even if it's just for a reader. Unfortunately, some of the corners have got concertinaed. And we'll just do the main bits. It does happen sometimes with books. If they're not very well looked after. Now, we're going to need to slide a little bit of glue in there. And this is 2-ply again, so a little bit underneath. And a bit in between as well. Should keep that tight. And on this end, it's sort of split, unfortunately. Yes, sadly, it's just split. And nothing we can really do about that. It is just going to be a lower grade copy, but just about scraped in. But it was definitely borderline, and we'll see. This one is, on the face of it, a much nicer, squarer, tighter copy. This will be one I'll be having a close look at in my own collection, seeing if it's one I need to upgrade. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad at all there. I think that probably had a sticker on at some point. Yeah, I reckon that probably had a Murder 1 sticker, but they've been able to get most of it off. It's with my thumbnail, I can feel it on there, but I don't know anything we can really do to work that off. Oh, the rubber's doing all right, actually. Yeah, the rubber's doing it. There we go. That's actually got that bit of muck off there, because it's such a nice copy. I suspect my own copy is not as nice as this. So that keeps it as tip-top as we've got most of that off. It keeps that really nice. Look at that, nice and tight, that one. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up with that. And the next one, from the loveliness to the rubbish. Look at this, Lady of the Lake. Shame as well, because it's Chandler, but look, it's taped there on the back. Yeah, and it's been water damaged. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do except just pop a bit of glue in there, just to make it look a tiny bit more presentable. And that's going to go in the job lot of lower grade books heading for eBay. That particular one. But that's okay. Golden box. There we are. It's a bit of spine roll, but generally that's absolutely fine. So we'll keep that one there. And a bit of a classic, but also slightly worn. There's a bit out the bottom of the cover there where the price was. This is quite the worse for wear, this one. A classic book. But yeah, a bit of an old state here. Stamped inside as well. Not exactly setting the world on fire, I'm afraid to say. Piece out the back cover. I don't think that it's just too many faults on it to make it worth selling as a collectible copy. Unlike this, which once again on the face of it looks beautiful condition. I'd rather just not have the lower grade stuff in my stock as swaps, because I don't want to let anybody down. But that's immaculate. That's really nice, that one. That's a beauty. Once again, that's one I should be checking quite closely. The cask, Freeman Wills Crofts. We've got a 1 shilling on the front, big thick one this. already looks like the book has fallen to bits, sadly. Yeah, look, it's there, but it's there in number only. No good. On the face of it, not bad, but with loose pages like that, it's not worth it. This is interesting. It's got a 65 cents over sticker. So once again, I suspect that the original owner picked this one up in Australia, where I remember they had relatives and they used to go over quite a bit. It's quite a nice copy of this one. Get rid of the original owner's name. Yeah, slightly tougher one to find, that probably because of its size. It's got a bit of a spine roll, but it's all right. Many Dimensions, 884. Big 9p in pencil there, but apart from that, he's all right. Got a big lady's hair inside there, and that's not so good. But else is all right. It's a tiny little bit. You can see the bottom of the spine here is just coming away. And I feel if we can get a blob of glue in there, it will actually do wonders. Just to keep that bit, stopping it getting any worse. There we are. Right, look at this. Taped, damage, taped right across the front there. So the cover's been ripped, taped on the back. It's complete, but it's in a rough old state. No good, I'm afraid to say. This one also is not looking great. It's got loss at the bottom of the spine. See, even when these books are mint, they're only like, these regular crime ones are only like £3 to £5, depending on the author. So if these aren't tip-top shape, they're probably not worth rescuing. This one is, I just don't think it's good enough. I'd rather not have that in my stock, so I'm not going to have that. Number 888, that was the old Scotland Yard number, 888 Scotland Yard. So it was a little bit of fun on Penguin's behalf, because this was a true crime title. It looks like an old bus pass there, a bus ticket. We'll look at that in a sec. Yep, 1953, so let's have a look at this. I love finding this stuff. So Ordinary Fare, where is it from? Birmingham City Transport. And the book came out in 1953 there. What does that say? Comfigates. So kind to your scalp with plastic tips. Insist on comfy grips. Comfy grips. Comfy grips. Okay. It's for ladies. This is to put their hair on. Comfy grips. To tie their hair up. Couldn't even get the words out. Anyway, 888. That's all right. That's okay, that one. Right, Case of the Black-Eyed Blonde, 889. Now this one's got a little bit of water damage along the bottom. So someone blimmin' had this in the bath probably. It's got damaged. Got £6.50 it's got inside. How ridiculous is that? Unfortunately, because of the water damage, it's only going to be probably a couple of pounds in my book. Yeah, on the outside it's okay. It's just, it is what it is. It's got some water damage and that can't be helped. Trial by Fury, 891. What is this? EAP&T Administration, Certificate of Posting a Parcel. Oh, 41 shillings, blimey. Oh, it's been sent to Kenya in 1976, wow. I tell you what, the stuff you find in old books is insane sometimes. I once found a love letter, it was hilarious. Anyway, that one's, it's salvageable, it's okay. It's not great, but it'll do as a copy. It's better than, it's going to be low price, you know, it's not going to be big money, but it's a, you know, it's a copy. It's a copy. Right, Deadly Weapon. Wade Miller. Yeah, a bit of the spine coming away there. Apart from that, it's not too bad. We're going to need to re-glue the back of the spine there. See if we can sharpen it up a little. There we are. I think we've probably just saved that from getting any worse. It's not perfect, but it's just about on the borderline of being saleable. Just about. Prelude to a Certain Midnight. There we are. Okay, bit of spine roll, but just about surviving. A couple more in this pile. So this one looks very nice. 8.97. This is much more akin to what they were like when they were first published. Yeah, this one had 350 in. I'd say it was worth that, yeah, to be honest. Lovely. And the last one from this up to number 800 is the Bandage Nude. Very, very spine rolled, this one. See how it fares inside. Get the bottom of the spine repaired, shall we? Quite rough. Yeah, it's double layered again, which we've seen before, but that's okay. So we can then put a second bit of glue just in that bit there. And that should be enough to keep it down now. So not ideal, but not awful. It's just about, once again, on the cusp of being saved, because it's been so well read. But I think it'll be okay. It'll be cheap. Yeah, like a couple of quid or something, and that. Hopefully someone will be really happy to have that as a filler for a couple of pounds. But there we are. So that's up to number 900. So just pause there a moment. Okay, carrying on then with 902. This is actually a fiction book. It's not actually crime. A little bit worn. James N. Can, of course, did write crime. In fact, we saw Postman Always Rings Twice, didn't we, earlier on? I guess this must be more in the fiction department. It's pretty rough, to be honest. I mean, it's not in the greatest of condition. It's all there, but it's once again a bit on the worn side, a little bit more than I would prefer. We do have standards around here, you know. That hasn't actually stuck down very well, so let's put a bit more on. See if that does the trick. A tiny bit. There it is, double layered. Yeah, a little bit grubby, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is. Now this next one I'm guessing is going to be a reject. Very popular book, Riddle of the Sands. But this one is ex-library, so instantly in the rejects. And now we've got a John Buckham. There was a few John Buckhams in this collection. I guess it must have been an author who, although they didn't write exactly crime, I suppose you could say some of his books were thrillers. The original owner of this collection must have been quite keen on Buckham, because they are all in here. This one and the later ones with the vignette sort of picture cover. A little bit of wear on that one, but generally speaking, that's okay. Yeah, that's all right. Case of the Substitute Face, blotch there, where it's been had something like a coffee mug. It's amazing how often that book's got used as like somewhere to stick your coffee on or your cup of tea. But apart from that, you know, it is a copy. It's very Ouija, but it'll do. Case of the Lame Canary. You do find that these Earl Stanley Gardners, John Dixon Carrs, the Agatha Christies, they're always turning up in that page machine, always turning up in low grade, simply because they're so popular. That one's going to go in the reject pile. Death Watch. There we are. Yeah, not too bad. Just wondering about the bottom of the spine here. Squidged a bit in there. I'm just going to use the knife to get that down there. Yeah, not perfect, but not rubbish. You know what I mean? This one looks quite nice. Nice spine on it. Trent Intervenes. Page edge browning, but otherwise very nice. Yeah, that's not a bad copy, that one. Obviously, we're going to need to give all these a good brush before the day is out. Now, this one, Freeman was got a huge bit of tape on the bottom of the spine. Poor. So, the next question is this tape going to come off? Look at that. It is. It is coming off. It's aged, and consequently, it's gone brittle, because it's probably been on for like almost 60 years. So I think that does look better. Still borderline whether I'm going to keep it yet. Okay, let's take the price out. Yeah, I think just about. It's going to be cheap and cheerful, but it is a salvageable copy. The Shane Mystery. This one's also got some tape on the top, but it's Magi tape. And it looks much more recent than what we've just done. Yeah, it's going to have to stay because it's going to leave a mark out. So not ideal. It's not the worst repair I've seen in the world, but it's a one-way ticket. We can't, get it any better than that. That tape is going to be on until the passage of time theoretically ages it. So, it's worth saving, though. It's not too bad a copy, but that is most definitely a fault, Need to bear that in mind. Right, Inspector French's Greatest Case. This appears to be ex-Brian Kesterton, the vintage Penguin book dealer. That looks very nice. Nice collectible copy, that one. The Loss of Jane Vosper. I think the thing is, with a lot of this collection, certainly I would say over half of it easily, is that it was just found in the wild by the original owner. It wasn't from dealers. Some of the books clearly are. We've seen it. They've got dealer prices in, but on the whole, they were bought from second-hand shops and places around the world. And now my glue's decided to dry up on me. She's not. There we are. We're back in business. There we are. I'm not putting the top back on because we're using the glue so much today. There we are. Right, the 1230 from Croydon. Okay. It's got a sticker on the back. Kill City Books. Got some tanning here. So overall, quite a nice copy. The sticker, I think I will probably... Have we got these ones off before? I can't remember. I know the Murder One ones we were leaving. It does appear to be coming off all right, this one. It's slow progress, but it is coming off. I could have always left it for the next person to try. I know some people say you should just leave this sort of stuff because it's part of the book's history, but personally I like the books to be as close to as they were when they were published as possible. It's just how I prefer to have my books. And this is actually going to leave a mark, which is a little bit annoying after all that, because it looked like it was coming off all right, this one, but a tiny bit of the green here is going to rip. There we are. Just a tiny bit, look at that. But I think that's probably better without the sticker than with it on. That's okay. It's okay. Right. Bullets for the Bridegroom. I do like this book. When I go to a wedding and I'm a guest at the wedding, I give the bridegroom a copy of this book. Now, the next wedding I know I'm going to be going to is my daughter's in 2 years' time. And I don't think her husband is much of a reader, sadly, Sam. So I don't know whether this is going to be that great a gift, but it might raise a smile on the day. It's not exactly in the greatest of conditions, so I'm sure he won't mind. Be a bit of fun. So yeah, that's probably, I mean, I'm bound to get another copy of this in the next 2 years, but you know, I like to have a little reserve of them for when I go to a wedding. There we are. Yeah, I might stick that in a bag and stick it back for their wedding day. Right, this next one, look, it's very, very worn. It's the part of the Agatha Christie 10, and one of my favourites, actually, Body in the Library. It's just very, very worn, and I think that's too far gone, so that's going to have to go in the reject pile. The next one on the face of it, leather, looks all right. Crooked House. This is absolutely presentable. Bit of foxing in that, a little bit of damage at the bottom of the spine, as is usual with these, but we can sort that out. This run were quite nice because they all feature a new introduction by Agatha Christie. There we are, author's forward. Just not a lot, it's only a few paragraphs, but they're quite nice to have with the authors. They make them basically unique editions of these Christie books. I quite like them like that. This one's a bit worn. Death Comes as the End. Very faint name inside. They're so difficult to find in nice condition, the Christies. I've been upgrading my copies for years and I've still not got a perfect set yet. They're just really hard because they're so popular. They get red and red and red. They never seem to go out of fashion. Here we are. This one's a reasonably tight copy. Shame it's got the sticker on the front, which I'm not going to be trying to get rid of. Yeah, so apart from that, it's all right. Pretty nice copy, that one. Labours of Hercules. That's quite presentable. This is about the sort of condition that most of mine are in. Just a bit better than VG Plus. Yeah, that's all right. Miss Marple and 13 from this one's got a massive spine roll on it, which is a shame. He's a bit borderline because it's like a pancake. It's just, this has been read like a dozen times, unfortunately. which is a real shame because Christie's sell in any condition, really, you know. I mean, they do, but I just have my own personal standards with regards to what I want to sell. I don't want to sell books that are really hammered. It's as simple as that. And that's bent it back a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be okay. Just. Right, moving finger. Lots of foxing on the front here. Let's see if I can re-glue this. Just about saved that. Yeah, once again, a fairly low grade copy of that. A couple more to do. Mysterious Mr. Quinn, another one which is a bit rough. Yes, very, very rough that, but it is a copy, so it'll be dirt cheap, but I don't want to get rid of it. And the last one is Parker Pine Investigates, and look at that, it's got part of the cover. That to me is such a serious defect, I'd rather not have that in stock. So that's just, once again, it's a reject. So there's the second pile done. Right, last little batch now. We got 938, The Night Walkers. Oh dear, that's a good start, isn't it? Look at this. Loose pages, and that unfortunately is an immediate discard pile. That's quite nice. So the Case of the Stuttering Bishop. In fact, I'd say that's probably unread, that one. And once again, this has come from a dealer. That's Brian Kesterton's annotations in there. I recognise them, and that's why this is a nice collectible copy. Yeah, very nice indeed. I'll be checking that one against my existing copy. Three Sisters Flew Home. Now, this Mary Fit woman, you know, she is very popular. Oh, look at that, though. Look at that. Popular she may be, but only if the books are in nice condition. I think we can probably re-glue that. We have the technology, don't we? There we go. Should go on quite nicely. Yeah, that seems nice and tight. There we are, that's okay. All right, The Yellow Room. Another one from Brian Kesterton. Another one in excellent condition. Lovely. Comes the Blind Fury. Oh dear, that's coming away. Very, very brittle. Yeah, I think we better give that one a miss. Case of the Constant Suicides. This looks very nice. 947. Yeah, I thought it was another one from Brian Kesterton. And another one I should be definitely checking against my own collection. That's a very, very nice copy indeed. That's lovely. This one looks good as well. And I know my copies of these are not great, so I shall be doing some swaps, I reckon. That's perfection in every way, not a mark on it. Wow. Now this one, it's funny because I think my copy of this is also pretty knackered. This is all laminated and horrible. Immediately into the reject pile. So Death Us Do Part. This is the last of the 5 Dixon cars. That's okay. The tiniest smidgen at the bottom of the spine here, just a little bit in there. There we are. That's okay. Now the next one also looks to be another corker. Look at this. Wow. That's quite outstanding. There we are. Yes, very, very nice indeed for 9.52. Look at that. Beautiful. If only they were all like that. I've said it before. Right, Murder of My Aunt. This one's a little bit worn. Yeah, it is what it is. It's just like a very low grade copy, but it's okay. It's complete. This one, however, immediately into the reject pile. It's definitely seen much better days. Sorry, Gladys. This one, however, is back to being beautiful again. Talk about all over the place. This is almost unread. If not is unread. Wow. That's how, look at that. That's how to have them if you can find them that way. It's just get them like that. The Case of the Drowsy Mosquito. Yeah, a bit of foxing and stuff, but generally okay. Nothing to do on that one. Another above average copy for 9.66. These are really hard to find in nice condition. Although this one, yeah, look at that. I've just spotted, look, it's got a corner torn out one of the pages, which is a shame. So this one has come from a second-hand source of some sort. But still generally a nice copy. Not perfect, but okay. The DA calls a turn. Now, I'm filming this still before I've actually bought possibly the second big collection of the year. Or third, I should say. I haven't been and seen it yet, so I don't know if I'm going to be buying that big Penguin collection I've been going on about. But my fingers are still crossed. But we shall see. Right, Murder Up My Sleeve. Yeah, a bit of spine coming away there. think, yeah, we're probably better off going in down there through the back. Straighten that up a little bit. Now we do also have the top edge here to try and repair as well. I think we've just saved that one. Yeah, that'll take a couple of days to set, but that should be all right. This next one immediately into the reject pile. It's a penguin, barely. It's almost fit for the bin. Love Lies Bleeding, 974. Yeah, quite heavily foxed this one, but generally it's okay. It's fairly robust, so we'll let that go. Floating Dutchman, 975. Yeah, not too bad a copy. Not perfect, but not too bad. Okay. Red Threads, Rex Stout. Yeah, a bit sort of VG-ish this one, I'm afraid to say. Not awful though, but just not great. But it survives the cut, the cull. This looks pretty nice. Death of a Doll, Hilda Lawrence. Yeah, this is another Brian Kesterton one. It's funny how his quality shines, doesn't it? Yes, tiny little bit at the bottom here. Squidgy that. There we are. Right. Famous Trials 4. Well, this one has seen better days. Let's do the top of the spine here. Okay. It's just got this remnants of a sticker on the front. I wonder where that's come from. If it was a second-hand shop or if it was Murder One, the bookshop in London. Oh, we got some of it off there. course, we can't use any sort of solvent or anything like that on this book because it's got a buff cover. It's not shiny. There's no gloss to it at all. That's a bit better. There's no gloss to it at all. It is just a very matte finish. Right, Case of the Gilded Fly. Yeah, it's got some internal tape. I don't know. Don't know if it's good enough to keep this. Don't like that bit of tape down the bottom there. See what it looks like if we repair this bit. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced this is good enough to keep. It's right on the borderline. I don't like them with a fault-like tape in. It's almost like deceptive, and I can't take that tape out, you know. But apart from that, it is all there. The spine isn't the end of the world. Okay, I'll include it for now, but that may end up getting rejected. Yeah, I don't like it. I put it with the rest of them. I just don't like the look of it. So it just brings the rest of your stock down if you have too much low grade. Look at this one. This is very, very rough. Look at that. But it looks as if this has got wet and then it's got dried. That's what's happened here. This is no good. When they got wet, that's usually last orders. Now this is quite a famous one, The Daughter of Time. And looks like we've got a repair job on our hands here. Covers aren't too bad. Okay. Glue decided to seize up on me there. That should be enough. Yeah, this is out of all the Josephine Taves that I've read, and I've read 4 of them now, this is the best one. It's really, really good. Really good. It's it would have made a hell of a Hitchcock movie, I reckon. But it was similar, a bit like Rear Window, which had already been done, where, you know, remember in Rear Window, the guy's stuck with a broken leg, and all he can do really is like look out his window during the day because he can't do anything. This is similar with a guy stuck in a hospital bed, and he decides, he gets someone to bring him all the information, and he tries to work on a medieval crime from history. I'm pretty sure it's medieval, and it's really, really good. I suppose Hitchcock would have known about this, but probably rejected it because it wasn't contemporary. Although it was set in contemporary times, the actual murder in that was historical. Anyway, we need to let that one dry for a moment. Right, that's that one, nice and firmly dried. Just a couple left, actually. Blood upon the snow, and then we got to give them the old brush down. So we've got through these actually quite quickly today. I think as we move along, the books will require less work, so I suppose it's only natural. That's quite nice. And then the last one here, keep it quiet. Price in Australia, another one that's come from Oz. Kill City Crime books. Yeah, look. So I'm going to leave all that on the back because there's lots of stickers in there, which I don't really want to play around with. The one on the inside will probably come off all right. But it looks like it's actually got a price inside. So once again, I think I'm just going to leave it. Why give myself loads of extra work? Because else it's a nice copy. Right, there we are. So that's all 3 stacks done. Now we need to give them the brush. Okay, so here we go. Let's get these bad boys brushed. And the last step with myself with these is I take them up into my own collection room and I compare them against my own books. And then what I have left is my stock, basically. Goes into my swaps box. A few of these are a bit low grade, but you know, they weren't low grade so much that no one's going to want them, if you know what I mean. It's the first part. Plumes of dust coming off some of these, not all of them, but some of them. There we are, one more pile to do. So I hope you've enjoyed today's cleaning video. We've had some nice books to go through. If you have, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And if you've not already, do please hit the subscribe button for regular book cleaning action. Particularly paperbacks, but not always. I'll be back next week. I'm not sure. This one I'm recording now may not actually go out for about 6 to 8 weeks' time. So I'll try and mix it in with some other stuff in the meantime, but we'll have to wait and see. Still got plenty of other stuff to clean. But thank you very much for watching today. And I shall see you again in 7 days' time with another video. Bye.